August of 2008, I had just started to take over the junior high and high school ministry at the church. Pastor Cody was here on the very last event that he was going to let me, that he was going to kind of be at. And then I was going to take on the ministry by my own. I was going to just run with it. You know, it was going to be awesome. I was going to save the multitudes. It was going to be great, right? And so August of 2008, we go to Oceanside, the pier. And if you guys we're on the south side of the pier, so we're all hanging out there. It's probably like 10 students, maybe 8 students, and which was like giant for our youth ministry at the time. We're like, yeah, you know, we have double digits almost. And so we're there, and this is August 2008, and Cody and I were boogie boarding with some students way out in the water, and I'm thinking, I'm not catching any waves. It couldn't be that I just suck. I mean, it has to be something else, right? And so I'm looking out, and I was like, oh, the waves are out there where all the surfers are. I'm thinking, I'm not a surfer, but how am I I got to show these students that I'm the man, right? And I'm going to go out there and surf with the big guys, right? So I go out there on my boogie board. About halfway out on the pier, there's that bait shop. And so that's kind of like my frame of reference. I know I'm there, and I swim out there, and I'm just sitting on my paddle, or I paddle out there, I'm sitting on my board, and I'm like looking towards the shore, and I see everyone's catching waves up there. I'm like, oh, they left, you know? So I start paddling in, and I'm like, man, this is taking forever. And I look to the side, and I'm still there in the same spot, and I'm like, it's weird, you know? So I'm paddling in again, and I look on the same spot, and at that point, I was like, I'm in a rip tide or rip current, you know? Like, I'm gonna die. I'm like tired at this point, you know? But I'm not gonna show that to my students because I'm the man, right? I'm gonna show them how awesome I am. And I'm gonna surf with these big boys, even though I was on a boogie board, which is not cool if you're a surfer, but I didn't know that, you know? And so I'm like, all right. And then as soon as I realized I was in a rip current, I start swimming, parallel to the shore, which is apparently what you're supposed to do. I do that, and then out comes the water, a glistening David Hasselhoff Jr. To rescue me. A lifeguard came to rescue me, and I'm like, I ain't having this, you know? There's too many people that are looking at me to be their lead, their leader, their fearless leader. If I get saved, if I have to submit to this dude and I have to humble myself, then they're gonna think I'm a chump. Like, no way. And Cody's there. Save the red guy, you know? Like, Cody's there, you know? But they see the big guy huffing and puffing, and they're like, that guy's gonna die if I don't save him. And I'm like, but and I don't know what happened with Cody. I mean, it was all blur, and the guy's like, hey, I'm here to save you. I'm like, I'm cool. I'm all right. I told him that. And he's like, he was so sweet. He was all, oh, it's okay. He was like, well, I'm already out here, so let me help you, you know. I'm like, all right, you know, I don't want to get you fired. You know, it's kind of like what I'm thinking, you know. I know you probably got your bosses watching you, and this is, so he throws me his red deal, you know, whatever that thing is, you know, whatever David Hasselhoff has, and the little thing, and I grab onto it, and he starts swimming, and I was like, I should have said, hey, can you just go under the water and swim so no one sees that I'm getting dragged in by a 14-year-old blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid, you know? And so he's dragging me ashore, and what happens when you get on shore after a lifeguard rescue? This guy just got bit by a shark. He's dying. What's wrong with him? Everyone huddles around. It's like a fight at school. Everyone's like, you know, everyone wants to see what happened, who said what, you know, what's going to happen next. And so that's what happened with me. I swear, I mean, it probably was like 30 people, but it felt like this many, you know? And I'm like, cool. You know, I was helping him out in routine rescue. But here's the thing, is that I had a choice. Either I submit to that dude, either I humble myself and I allow him to save me, or I die in my pride. Two options, because I was tired. And there was no doubt I was caught in a rip current. In my pride today, I would say, oh yeah, I probably could get out of it. But let's be honest, I was probably drowning. Thanks, guys.